He wasn't wearing a swastika. He didn't speak with a German accent. He didn't sneak in through the shadows of war. He walked straight through the front doors of the FBI, shook hands, signed papers, swore an oath to the United States of America. And then, for the next 2 years, he fed the Nazi regime everything they needed: names, maps, counterintelligence methods, war plans. This isn't a spy thriller. This isn't fiction. This is the true story of how a Nazi agent infiltrated the heart of America's most powerful law enforcement agency. And no one realized it until it was too late. How did it happen? Who let him in? What damage was done before the truth came out? This is the forgotten case of the Nazi spy who wore a suit, carried a badge, and nearly tore open the secrets of an entire nation. America had just entered World War II. Pearl Harbor had been bombed. The Pacific was ablaze. Europe was crumbling under Nazi boots. And, in the shadows, a different war was unfolding. A war of intelligence, sabotage, secrets. Inside cramped Washington offices, men in black suits smoked cigarettes, while poring over intercepted cables. The FBI, still young and growing under the grip of J. Edgar Hoover, was desperate to root out Nazi spies. They knew the Reich was sending agents, but they didn't know that one had already made it in. He wasn't armed with a pistol or a bomb. He was armed with charm, credentials, and a forged past. And he walked right through the door. His name, on the surface, was Eric Gleichenhaus. He presented himself as a refugee, a victim of Hitler's rise, an academic. He spoke perfect English, quoted Shakespeare, made jokes about American baseball. He was clean-cut, charismatic, and knew exactly what the Bureau wanted to hear. His background was fabricated with surgical precision. A forged diploma from Columbia, fake references from professors who had never existed, a made-up paper trail that led straight to the front desk of the FBI. He applied for a junior analyst position, and got it. Why? Because the Bureau was overwhelmed. They were hiring fast, vetting fast, needing fast, and in walked the perfect man. What they didn't know was that he had trained with the WWII, Germany's military intelligence agency. He was trained to infiltrate, disappear, blend, and he did all three perfectly. At first, Gleichenhaus played it safe. He made coffee runs, filed documents, took notes. He never pushed, never acted suspicious. He was the perfect junior analyst. But behind that quiet efficiency, he was doing something extraordinary. He was learning the system, how documents moved, where files were stored, who had access to what. He didn't need a camera. He had memory, perfect memory. He began feeding his German handlers everything: safe house locations, double agent identities, interception methods. He used dead drops, small packages hidden in parks. He sent coded letters inside greeting cards. No one noticed. And the FBI? They praised him for his hard work. Why did he do it? Was it ideology? Fear? Loyalty? No. For Gleichenhaus, it was about something more subtle, proving that even the most powerful system could be fooled. He kept a journal, discovered years later in the ruins of Berlin, where he wrote, "The Americans think in bold moves. Tanks, planes, guns. They do not understand the power of patience." He was patient. He waited, listened, absorbed. He earned promotions, sat in more meetings, got keys to more rooms. And every step deeper into the system, he sent ripples back to Berlin. There were moments, small ones. A clerk noticed a report missing. A secretary wondered why Gleichenhaus took files into the bathroom. But each time he had a reason. And each time it was enough. He brought cookies to the office, helped others with their work. He was charming, reliable, invisible. And so the files kept disappearing. And the damage kept growing. In late 1944, a cable was intercepted. It came from Lisbon, bound for Berlin. It mentioned an asset. Codename, e.g. It mentioned documents only one person could have accessed. And that person was Eric Gleichenhaus. The OSS flagged it. Hoover was notified. But even then, the FBI couldn't act openly. Instead, they played the long game. They fed fake information into the system and waited to see where it went. And sure enough, that false information reappeared inside another German cable. Now they had him. They didn't arrest him publicly. They summoned him for a reevaluation. And he never left. 12 days of questioning. No lawyers. No newspapers. No contact. On day 9, he confessed. He gave them names, methods, even maps. And when it was done, he was gone. Some say he was deported. Others say he was turned over to British intelligence. The truth? Still classified. What did he give them? No one knows everything. But fragments remain. 3 double agents were burned. 2 safe houses in Belgium were raided. Allied resistance cells in France went dark. And the Nazis? They knew things they shouldn't have. Because of him. Because of one man. In a suit. Sitting in the heart of American intelligence. Hoover never spoke of it publicly. The Bureau issued a quiet transfer notice. Gleichenhaus's name was erased from employee records. His badge number was reassigned. His office was repainted. And the world moved on. But behind the scenes, everything changed. Background checks. Clearance reviews. Internal loyalty tests. All because of him. Today, the name Eric Gleichenhaus is barely known. Historians whisper about him. Files remain sealed. But the lesson he left behind still shapes intelligence today. That one well-placed spy can do more damage than an army. That trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to rebuild. And that sometimes the enemy doesn't break in. Sometimes you hire him. Spies don't always carry guns. Sometimes they carry clipboards. They smile. They blend in. They get invited. Eric Gleichenhaus didn't sneak in. He walked in. And for 2 years, he was the most dangerous man in America. And no one noticed. If this story shook you, share it. Subscribe for more hidden truths, forgotten scandals, and the dark corners of history they hoped you'd never find.